aerospace, and beyond. And that's what my presentation is about, to shine a light on PIA, the aviation aerospace industry, as well as many of the other paths, even beyond aviation and aerospace, that our graduates have and are qualified to get involved in and work in. With that said, I have some great visuals that I want to share with you today to reinforce what I say and really give you a sneak peek about what PIA is about and what these industries are about. So with that said, I will go right ahead and share my screen. So PIA has been around for over 90 years. We were actually founded out of the Curtiss Wright Flying Service. That's Glenn Curtiss and Orville Wright, the same Orville Wright that was the first in flight. So you can't go back too much farther than that. 1903 being the Wright brothers' first flight, PIA was founded in 1929. What I want to do now is give you an opportunity, because if you're here, whether live with me or watching this recording, I'll give you another opportunity at the end of my presentation. But the goal of today, no matter what I share, if you are interested and excited to explore PIA as an educational path, I'd encourage you to get in touch with one of our admissions representatives, or even take that next step of a personal tour. We have virtual open house events to attend one of those. So you could go ahead and scan that QR code or type into your browser pia.edu/learn more. I'll give you a quick second to screenshot that, take a picture of the screen. You can choose from a drop-down menu, today's event, PACAC Strive Scan event, and it'll bring you to a page. You'll give some information and let us know if you're interested, so we can have someone reach out to you to facilitate that next step for you. Because touring campus, I have some great videos and a day in the life of PIA to show you, but touring our campus is a requirement of our enrollment, and anything I share with you pales in comparison to walking into our doors, especially into our hangar, seeing the larger than life aircraft. And that's really where a potential student, I see their face light up, and it kind of solidifies with them, this is where I want to be in this hands-on educational setting. I get to work on these airplanes, helicopters, on this equipment. So I'd encourage you to do that. So as I mentioned, PIA is actually ranked Forbes #1 two-year trade school, 2018, 3 years running, an amazing honor for PIA. But even more so, I love this because this is something that allows our students to land jobs. It's not uncommon for a PIA student about to be graduate to receive 4, 6, 8 job offers before even completing our program. Now, by no means does that mean they get to say, okay, I got a job, I'm leaving, contingent on them completing our program. But an amazing honor for PIA to be named Forbes #1 two-year trade school. And that's not for aviation or aerospace. That's any trade school in the world. And that's based off some of the factors you see there: postgraduate success, how much they're earning, affordability, completion success, the student experience, which is so important to us, providing that experience and education that, yes, is learning, but also is experiencing. Forbes also put out a separate article where they ranked colleges, the cost of the college for the entire program versus how much average graduates make in the industry, and PIA ranked in the top 7% of schools in the country, not trade schools, 7% of schools. That includes Harvard and Yale. So if you're passionate about these fields, PIA is the kind of training ground that can really propel you into a career that provides financially for your family, but hopefully it's more than that, a career that you find enjoyment in your employment. Because I always say, other than family and friends, that's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, to wake up every day and be excited and proud of the career and the industry that you get to work in. So I love to share PIA alumni spotlights, not only because we are so very proud of our graduates, but I hope that for you, they can serve as inspiration and motivation, because the students I share, graduates I share, I should say, are just a few steps ahead of you. It wasn't that long ago that they were in high school, exploring what their next step would be. So I'm honored to share with you today Chris Hoffman, who is currently the Director of Launch Operations at Astra Aerospace, overseeing all the aerospace launch technology that they get into. But I also have to share that before moving on to Astra Aerospace, Chris Hoffman worked at SpaceX, and we celebrated him this summer for his contributions on the Falcon 9 rocket, which was used in this summer's SpaceX launch. So Chris is an excellent example of someone who identified that he wanted to work with his hands, but marry a combination of intelligence and technical skills, problem solving, to literally help humanity forge forward. So if Chris and his path excites you, I'm going to fill you in on some more details and some other avenues that a PIA education can provide. One of those things that would help prep Chris or anyone for a career in aerospace, and an opportunity that our students, and I stress that students, while still in our program, get to participate in, is the AMC, the Aerospace Maintenance Competition. The best way I could describe this, it is the Olympics of aerospace, repair, maintenance, engineering. They actually have competitions, very similar to Skills USA, but just take that to the highest level of collegiate and professional aspect. And I say professional because it's not just for colleges, although PIA has been granted the honor to participate. Airlines and aerospace companies will send teams to compete in this. And as you can see, PIA has done very well in their recent competitions in the AMC. 2 years ago, it was held in Atlanta, Georgia. Last year, it was held in Orlando, Florida. And a great way to bring people within the industry together. And you can check this out on YouTube. It is shown and gathers views from all different aviation enthusiasts in and outside the industry. Because like I said, it's a fun competition. Not only is this an amazing thing for our students to put on their resume, an amazing industry experience to gain, but it's a real pride point for them to share with their family and to take part in, that they were able to participate in such a prestigious event and represent PIA at it. But as you'll come to see from me in my presentation, I love to tell you things about PIA and the amazing opportunities we can provide, but even more so, I love to show you. So this is PIA's last couple participations in the AMC Aerospace Maintenance Competition.
I can't believe how big this place is and how many people we've seen and how many people we've met. The experience is awesome.
A competition full of passionate people and cutting edge level technology. So if that excites you, PIA is definitely a potential path that I think you should look into. What I would love to do next is show you what a day in the life at PIA looks like. So at PIA, what we are not is a traditional four-year school where you're going to be in large lecture halls taking lessons in that way. What we are is a hands-on educational institution. Our students live out the lessons they learn, just as you see there, by working on aircraft and aviation equipment. Nothing at all wrong with a four-year school. I actually encourage you to look into multiple educational paths, four-year college, community college, trade school, because there's no set, correct educational or career path. Different strokes for different folks. It really has to speak to you in a passionate way for the education path that you would enjoy and would provide a future that you were excited to live. And that's what I want for each and every one of you, to Be excited about your education, be excited about your career and the future that it will lead to. Great that I showed you pictures, but what I would rather do, again, I'm a show me guy, I'd rather virtually take you onto campus and show you what it would look like a day in the life at PIA, what it would look like if you walked onto campus, onto our hangar to see the students getting to work on all different types of aircraft, really solidifying that lesson. And I can't tell you how many times I've encountered potential students who didn't know if furthering their education was right for them because they just didn't know or find a school that fit their wants and needs, with ours being that hands-on education approach. Without further ado, this is PIA, A Day in the Life. Pride, purpose, prestige, that is the tagline of PIA, and that is what we strive for our students to have in their education and their career path. With that said, I want to take a quick moment. I've thrown a lot of information at you to start this presentation off, and I want to encourage you to use that Q&A box that you'll find there. You can ask me a question, and I'm going to take a break towards the end to address any of the questions that came in. I want to personalize this experience to each and every one of you. I will not read a name behind the question. I'll just address the question and hopefully provide some answers and insight regarding it. So by all means, take advantage of that Q&A box. I'm going to share a lot with you. Maybe you want me to elaborate on a subject. Maybe you ask a question that I didn't touch on, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. So PIA has 4 different campuses. We have our main campus in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We also have a campus in Youngstown, Ohio, Hagerstown, Maryland, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 5 miles away from the beach. So which path you'll pick will depend, one, on location, depending where you're located, where you want to go to school, and we can fill in the gaps for you as you further explore PIA, but also perhaps on that educational program that you want to get into. Because we offer slightly different programs at our main campus in Pittsburgh than we do at our branch campuses, and let me fill you in on that. So at PIA, we offer 2 programs, very specialized programs, so hence why we offer 2, not a wide variety of programs to choose from. Simply stated, we offer Aviation Maintenance Technology and Aviation Electronics Technology, more commonly in the industry referred to as avionics. What are the difference between those 2? Well, let me first tell you, at our Pittsburgh main campus, is the only place that we offer our avionics or aviation electronics technology program. That is only offered as an associate in specialized technology degree program, and it takes 21 months to complete. As I mentioned earlier, it'll culminate in students being not only gaining their associate degree, but being licensed by the Federal Communication Commission to work on aircraft. Beyond PIA, anyone who works on an aircraft needs to have the proper credentials to do so. And that's what our program builds up to, not only getting that education, but getting that governmental credential to be able to work on aircraft. That's why our students are so specialized. That's why they are so sought after as they become graduates, because you can't pull anyone off the street to do what they do. It takes a tremendous amount of education, drive, dedication, and the proper credentials. So now let me go into the aviation maintenance technology side. That is offered as an associate degree program in specialized technology at our Pittsburgh main campus. Just like avionics, it takes 21 months to complete that program. But it is also offered at all 3 of our branch campuses that I mentioned the locations previously. It can be completed in 16 months as a certification program. Whether you do it as an associate degree or a certificate program, it will both culminate in being certified by the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and gaining your airframe and power plant certification. Again, giving you the proper credentials to inspect, repair, and work on aircraft. And I use that term aircraft loosely, and I'm going to tell you why, because we always have a phrase, if it moves mechanically, our students are qualified to work on it. More to come on that shortly, but what I do want to do is touch on, if both opportunities intrigue you, in 33 months, you can complete our dual ticket option, which is Aviation Maintenance Technology and Aviation Electronics Technology together. Talk about being a even further widely transferable skill set. And PIA has had graduates that have gone on to work for aerospace organizations like NASA, SpaceX, Aerojet Rocketdyne, for technology companies like Pratt & Whitney, Lockheed Martin, for airlines like Boeing, American, Delta, Piedmont, just to name a few. And I'll actually give you an opportunity to go on pia.edu/career services, where you can track our graduates wherever they are working. Perhaps you gain some inspiration off me sharing Chris Hoffman with you, or any of those other organization or companies that I just shared, and want to know where other PIA graduates are working. So what is avionics or aviation electronics? Simply stated, here are some of the things that they'll work on. And I always use the analogy that avionics is the brains of the aircraft, largely centralized in the flight deck, navigation, communications, radar systems, flight controls, autopilot systems, really troubleshooting, fixing, and building all the aspects of the aircraft that communicate with the aircraft and serve as the brain, allowing it to function. We always say at PIA, we train AMTs, aviation maintenance technicians, and they're the ones who set pilots up for success. They literally save lives by ensuring aircraft are mechanically safe to fly. In that other end, there is the aviation maintenance side, and that's the airframe and power plant, which is a fancy way of saying engine and body or physicality of the aircraft. Landing gear, wings, engine, the muscle, if you will, the brawn of the aircraft. And our students, I always compare them to detectives, but instead of a whodunit like a detective, they are a what went wrong, how can I improve it? They have to gather clues to make the right repairs or inspections, because any aircraft that flies, excluding experimental aircraft, has to be signed off by an AMT to certify it as safe to fly, even if nothing is wrong with that aircraft. So inspections and safety is at the forefront of this industry. AMTs will use something called a borescope. It's a fiber optic camera that can bend and be put into areas of the aircraft that would be very difficult, almost impossible, for a person to get to and see without taking the entire aircraft apart. So they can use this to diagnose problems, to see what needs to be taken apart, what needs to be addressed, and what needs to be fixed. So in our avionics sense, the electrical capacity of one 787 can power up to how many households? And I share this to give honor and respect to how much goes into the avionics side of allowing an aircraft to fly. Whether you're live or watching me in a recording, play along, get a guess. The amount of electricity it takes for a 787, which is a plane you might fly on with your family for vacation, how much electricity would it take to have it fly? It can power up to 400 homes. Absolutely astonishing, and that's why avionics technicians are so needed to ensure aircraft flying properly. So some of the benefits, and before I touch on the benefits, I do want to touch on the current COVID climate of this industry. So by all means, right now, the commercial airline is dealing with tough times, as the whole world is with the pandemic. But I want to share that all the projections we have, the commercial airline will come roaring back by 2023, if not before. And if you were a student that's thinking about going to PIA, our 21 or 16-month program, by all means, by then, the aviation commercial airline industry will be back if that's your goal. But before I say that, I want to share that even prior to the pandemic, less than 25% of our students even went into commercial aviation. And I'll touch on all the different areas of aviation where our graduates, we have no problem currently placing them, because Their skills are so widely diverse and there are so many avenues of aviation to get into. But say your heart's set on working on commercial airlines, I share this perk with you, not only as a great perk of the industry, but also because it's a great way to show honor and respect, which AMTs absolutely get. You work for a commercial airline, you, your parents, your spouse, your kids, fly for free. Get out of work on a Thursday. We're having a wickedly cold winter in, say, the eastern part of the country. You want to go down to Florida, you fly for free. Your friends get discount passes. So you got that buddy from high school ringing you up like, oh, I know you work for American or Piedmont. Can you get me a discounted pass? And never get involved in an industry because of the perks, but it's nice to be appreciated, and that's what that shows in a wonderful way. Talking about appreciation, I have to share with you, May 24th annually is AMT Day, Aviation Maintenance Technician Day, a holiday dedicated to AMTs working in all different areas of the industry, whether it's having people arrive safely at their location, the cargo side, the medical transport side, whether it's building and dreaming up the next kind of aircraft. AMTs positively impact our world in a multitude of ways, and May 24th is AMT Day to give them appreciation. So nice to have a career where you have a holiday that gives you appreciation, as they're appreciated all year long, but May 24th is that day. Why May 24th? Well, because it's actually the birthday of Charles Taylor, who is the forefather of aviation maintenance. He was the mechanic for the Wright brothers. So kind of the man who made this all possible. A lot of people told him his dreams were unrealistic and impossible, but you find a way or you find an excuse. And I honor Charles Taylor for finding a way, building the foundation of our industry today. The Wright brothers ties in so wonderfully to PIA because the Curtiss Wright Flying Service, PIA has roots tracing all the way back to it. That's the same Glenn Curtiss and the same Orville Wright that was the first in flight. So kind of nice to have such a rich history. At PIA, we're so proud of our history. We're excited about our present, but we're equally as excited about the future and potentially you being that next fuel of the industry that's going to take us into the next phases of technology. So I show you these humble beginnings tracing back to 1903 with the Wright brothers, going forward to PIA being founded in 1929, because it's important to see where we've come from to know where we are going. And where we are going excites and intrigues me tremendously. What I want to share with you next is some of the next steps of the aviation and aerospace industry. Not hopes and wishes, actual technological realities that, just like at the time the Wright brothers were the first to fly, it seemed unrealistic and impossible. And I always say, I'm sure there were people that said, I'm not getting in those crazy contraptions. I'm good with my horse or my automobile. That seems nuts. And now it's not uncommon for people to fly many times in their lifetime. And the very same could be true about some of these next industries and areas that I'll share with you. Before I get to the future of aviation, I want to share with you what is an AMT. I've talked about aviation maintenance technicians, that they work on aircraft, but what exactly entails in their education and training that makes them so specialized? I think this next video will fill in some of the gaps.
When you think of a career as a mechanic, often the first thing that comes to mind is working in an auto shop, doing the repair and maintenance on our everyday vehicles. But what about those vehicles that travel thousands of miles in mere hours, transporting goods and people across the world as part of their everyday commute? Aviation maintenance technicians are the men and women who ensure the safety and reliability of our aircraft each day. Before a plane takes off, an AMT has worked tirelessly to ensure that the aircraft is mechanically safe to fly. By diagnosing mechanical and electrical problems, completing routine inspections, repairing damage to wings, landing gears, and other components, and certifying that aircraft meets the standards set forth by the FAA. This work is led by an elite group of professionals known as AMP mechanics, who train for a minimum of 1,900 hours to understand the complex and unique systems that make up an aircraft, working on planes, jets, drones, blimps, helicopters, or rockets. Their highly specialized skill set makes them sought after employees, not only in the aviation sector, but in many non-aviation related fields. If you are seeking a career that is fast-paced, challenging, and hands-on, then a career as an aviation maintenance technician might be right for you.
We learned a little bit right there on what is an AMT, but how at PIA, I showed you what it looks like to be in a program at PIA, but what are some of the skills that you directly will learn that will qualify you, prepare you to be a success story in this industry? I'd love to break down some of those skills right now. Now that we've laid the foundation of the skills that it takes to be an AMT, I want to share with you, AMTs are far from lacking in benefiting the world through their career by making the world a better place. And that's what I want to talk to you about. But I did speak on the future of aviation, aerospace, and these industries. So I'd like to touch on that. We talked a little bit about SpaceX. There's also Blue Origin's Virgin Galactic, a little bit of a space race going on right now, which is super exciting to be a part of. How far we have come from the moon landing in 1969 to this summer's SpaceX launch and this revamping of aerospace. But what I'd like to share next is Uber Elevate. Just last week, GE invested $100 million into their commitment to flying car technology. Uber Elevate is already well in their way into flying car technology. It's kind of cool that, remember the Jetsons had a flying car and it was simply science fiction. When will that ever happen? Well, it is happening. In the next 2 to 4 years, they project to have this rolled out. Uber Elevate stations that, just like you order an Uber car, you can order a flying car that will come pick you up. It'll allow people to live farther away from where they work, to travel in a much more simpler, streamlined way. But it doesn't stop there. Another amazing opportunity that isn't a hope and wish is currently being built is the Space Hotel, a hotel in space that regular civilians can go up into. Wow, I mean, talk about humanity forging forward and doing something that seems impossible. But when you marry intelligence, passion, and perseverance, almost anything is achievable. If you're an AMT that worked on the Space Hotel, you get to go up for free. An amazing perk like flying for free if you work for a commercial airline. And whether you're interested in the aviation industry or not, every human on Earth, this is going to affect, like cell phone technology. The technology that this industry puts out affects the lives of everyone on Earth. And soon, it won't be long till grandparents, instead of getting in a Winnebago and going to the Grand Canyon, or families, instead of perhaps going to Disney on their vacation, will go up to the Space Hotel. So I want to talk about the extreme need and demand for aviation technicians. So if you're going to invest your time, effort, energy, and money into an education, you want to make sure that that education is going to pay off with tangible employment, employment within the career fields that you went to school for. So right now, there is a huge demand for aviation technicians. 76% of them are over 50 years old, 22% are 31 to 50 years old, leaving only 2% under 30 years old. Why is this such important information? Because not only are the jobs there, promotions are there to quickly move up through a company. There is an extreme demand right now for aviation technicians, and that isn't just in the US, that is worldwide. So these is a projections from Boeing over roughly the next 18 years, all the new jobs for aviation technicians that will be available in all the different continents. And these numbers continue to increase up. So if you're interested in getting in this field, there perhaps is no better, more lucrative time than right now. What I want to share next with you are all the different areas of aviation that our graduates are qualified to get into. So we touched on commercial airline, cargo airlines, who deliver the supplies that help our world go round, or we all can relate to that Amazon package on our porch when we get back. Cargo is a huge, sometimes unthought of area of aviation. We talked about aerospace, medical transport. We've had graduates work for Stat Medevac, working on the aircraft, like Stat Medevac has the Airbus H135, which allows them to transport patients, medical supplies. So our students who allow these aircraft to operate safely and work the way they're meant to contribute to saving the lives of so many. Not only that, but it bleeds into other areas. If it moves mechanically, our students are qualified to work on it. Disney will hire our graduates to work on roller coasters. NASCAR will hire our graduates to come in with a whole different perspective from the aeronautical sense. You could work on cruise ships, the Goodyear blimp if you wanted. Any type of blimp aircraft needs to be certified and safely worked on. So what I'll do now is show you the other side of aviation. I scratched on a bunch, but there's even some more unique, unrelated fields that you might not think of. But remember my theme. I'm going to tell you, but I'm also going to show you. This is the other side of aviation. So at PIAs, I put up our graduate employment statistics, and this speaks on students not only getting a job, but getting a job in the related fields. What you just saw in that video, whether it be energy, firefighting, entertainment, farming, so many different areas of aviation under that umbrella for our graduates to explore. What I will do right now is take a quick break and answer some of the questions that have come in. So with that said, do you need any prior mechanical experience to enter a program at PIA? That's a great question. And if you've already been lucky enough to have some technical education in your high school or through a trade program, that is great. But the answer is no. You do not need any prior mechanical experience to enter a program at PIA. What we're looking for is passionate and excited potential students. We can fill in the technical gaps in the mechanical side of the education. So no, you do not need any prior mechanical experience. We will take care of all that for you. What I'm looking for is someone who is excited to get involved in these industries and to learn. That's a student that I can work with. Another question that we have. Can I use my GI Bill to attend PIA? PIA is a gold-ranked military-friendly school. We have served many veterans, and many students have come to our school and actually entered in to the military, which I absolutely honor and commend that decision to. So they can come in. One of our students, Grant Long, actually went on to be a Black Hawk crew chief for the military. So another great question. Will there be any assistance in me finding employment? Well, with that, I actually would like to share my screen and address that question. I love having visuals to go along with things. I'm just that kind of learner. Allows me to ingest the information in a totally different way. So we have an amazing career service team at PIA that works with our students hand in hand. So by no means can anyone guarantee getting you a job, but we're going to set you up for success. We're going to let you know of job opportunities. We hold career fairs, on-campus recruiting. Like I said, it's not uncommon for a PIA student approaching graduation to get many job offers. We're going to do mock interviews, resume writing, because no matter what your skill set, you got to land that job. And the partnership that we have with PIA Career Services and our students doesn't end once you graduate. It goes even after graduation. If you are a PIA graduate, you can reach out to us at any time to open our Rolodex of contacts and make you aware of opportunities within the industry. Say you worked for an airline for 8 years and for whatever reason, you want to relocate to a different part of the country. Our career service team will work with you even past graduation. So whether it's our admissions team as you explore PIA as an opportunity, our amazing instructors who have a plethora and wide variety of industry experience, to our career service team, it is everyone working together to set you up for the highest levels of success, to really put you in a position to achieve your dream goals. Another question that came is, what is the average salary? The average salary for an AMT is right over $60,000, right around $62,000. So that's an average. So we by all means have graduates that are making six figures over $100,000, but an amazing lucrative career to get into. And because it's so highly specialized is why our students are so widely sought after. What I will do right now, as I did in the beginning, I will give you a minute to screenshot, scan that QR code, or just type in another browser, maybe take a picture with your cell phone, pia.edu/learn more. You can go on, you'll choose from a drop-down menu, today's date, and it'll say today's date, PACAC Strive Scan event, and then put in your information, your name, if you'd rather be contacted by email, phone number. I love text messages. That's whatever you prefer. Have something mailed to you. We would love to have someone get in contact with you and provide those next steps. Like I said, we have an upcoming virtual open house. We would love to have you down to any of our campuses for a socially distanced personal tour. You can bring your family along on that, or a friend if you want to experience it with you and see what we're all about, and even take some pictures with the aircraft if you wish. That's always exciting. I encourage you to look into at least 3 educational paths that interest you and really make a decision that's best for you, your personality, and your future. I want to see you live a life of absolute enjoyment and financial success, but also career success, where you grow in that career, you enjoy that career. Because let's be honest, when we enjoy what we do, time goes quicker and we end up getting promotions and moving up in a field, I don't want to say without trying, but much more effortlessly because we're enjoying what we're doing. At PIA, we're looking for the tinkerer, the person who wants to take things apart, build them, repair them, and improve them. I remember me and my brother and my mom would yell, we'd get an RC car and we'd take it apart right away and try to make it go faster. We'd time it, then we'd kind of do that. Whenever I see anything technological, I'm always in awe of what it can provide me. But then my next thought is, how is it doing what it does? I want to reverse engineer it and think of it that way. That's the kind of person that we're looking for at PIA. Doesn't matter if you have any prior experience or you know how any of those things work. If you have a curiosity and a thirst to learn, that's what we're here for at PIA, and that's what we are happy to provide you. So right here as we finish out, I just love to share these because these are some mind-blowing numbers from the cargo industry of how much of each of these aspects are transported each day. The total value in one 24-hour period monetarily is 18.6 billion. That's billion with a B. So you could quickly calculate what that is a week, a year, and how important all aspects of aviation are, but in this sense, the cargo side of aviation and how necessary it is for the industry. As I mentioned, I'll put up a slide where you can go on our pia.edu/career services, check where any of our graduates work. Also on pia.edu, you can take our career readiness quiz, which will give you some great insight on if you would be a good fit for this field. Each and every one of you watching, live or recorded, I want to commend you for taking steps into exploring your future and setting yourself up for the best possible future. Because the best way we set ourselves up is educational and career exploration. Look into your options, your opportunities, and know what is out there. My name is Brandon with PIA, and I can't thank you enough for spending time with me today. Perhaps I'll see you on the flight line at PIA. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Brandon. I now have a few closing announcements. Once this session ends, there will be a quick survey offered. Please take the time to fill out these 4 questions. Again, we do ask that you sign up for more sessions and explore your options. And again, a recording will be made available to you within a week. And with that, I'd like to thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.